Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. With the Greens, you have the odious Oompa Loompa that is Patrick Harvey, and the gormless giraffe that is Lorna Slater. And between them, they come up with some pretty stupid ideas. Between them, their IQ is still not into double figures. They are complete morons. But they keep pushing this very unpopular and totally useless plan to make every home in Scotland have a heat pump. Anything that happens that I know will cause them distress gives me pleasure. It gives me a chance to smile and think that sometimes, things just go your way. And one of the things that that has happened, that has done this to me, is that the UK government ministers are launching a review into heat pumps. And they're saying that they should not be fitted into quiet residential areas because they are far too loud. And this is UK-wide. This isn't Scottish policy. This will be a UK-wide because environmental standards like this apply across the whole country. And so there is no way that the SNP and Greens can force this through in law if that is found to be the case, that they cannot be put in residential areas because of the noise. Noise pollution, of course, is a serious issue. It causes a lot of problems, including health problems. And there's just no getting around the fact that these pumps are noisy. We'll take a look at this article, but deep in the knowledge that it's going to annoy the absolute crap out of the dwarf and the giraffe. Here goes. So, heat pumps should not be fitted in quiet residential areas because the constant humming could be too noisy, government ministers say. It's cracking, isn't it? Ministers launched a review amid concerns that constant humming too noisy in certain areas, and the SNP Green plans to mark homes down if they have a gas boiler rather than a pump, and it's all going to fail because health and safety. Isn't it marvellous? Isn't it marvellous that these two morons fail to realise some basic truths about heat pumps? Number one, that they are incredibly noisy. Heat pumps should not be fitted in quiet areas because they could cause a noise nuisance according to official guidance. UK government ministers have launched a review amid concerns that the constant humming may be too noisy if hundreds of them are placed in residential streets. Under new rules planned by the SNP Green government, homes will be marked down if they have a gas boiler rather than an environmentally friendly alternative such as a heat pump, which is not environmentally friendly. It uses constant electricity. It has to be maintained on a regular basis, which means drivers have to get in their vans and drive to your house on a regular occasion to fix them, to repair them, to monitor them. They are not green. And of course, the energy they're running from is usually powered by burning gas. I wonder if there was a better way of heating your home than by having gas central heating. There isn't. It's the best. It really is. And the other thing about these heat pumps is they don't generate enough heat in most houses because unless your house is absolutely hermetically sealed, they just don't work efficiently. They don't heat your house up. You have to then resort to using like other heaters, other electric heaters. Your fuel bill goes through the roof. It's not very green at all. You also run the risk of not heating your water sufficiently high that you kill various things in the water, such as, for example, Legionnaire's disease. And indeed, with the Scottish climate, it means that the heat pumps themselves are actually way worse for the environment than the gas central heating that they're replacing, which can become a lot cleaner over time with the introduction of more hydrogen into the mix. Isn't it weird? But then this is the Greens you're talking about. Thick as custard. They really, really are. Anyway, it means homeowners will pay, this is going back to their policy, it means homeowners will pay a financial price when they try to market their property if they fail to get rid of gas boilers. But no one can afford to put the alternative in because they're £35,000 a pop when you have to put in all the new pipework and radiators and everything else. Plus, as I say, the running costs are astronomical. Last night, Scottish Tory Net Zero Energy and Transport spokesman Douglas Lumsden said, "The noise objection to heat pumps may seem minor compared with the enormous cost householders face and the practical difficulties of installing them in flats or rural areas." But it is serious enough to spark a UK government review and shows that heat pumps are not the magic bullet or one size fits all solution, which they're not. They are no way. They are useless in most cases. Anyway, he says, yes, that is the position that the Green Minister and Oompa Loompa Patrick Harvey has adopted, ignoring a whole range of other options to impose his inflexible and extremist agenda, an agenda of which he knows absolutely nothing. And you're getting experts in the field coming out, and experts who say it's in their interest that these things are pushed ahead. So, but they're coming out saying, God, don't do it. It isn't right. It will damage. It is a terrible idea. Please don't. Put them into brand new homes, new builds, fine, but make sure that the new builds are built to a specific standard of insulation. It says, but under no circumstances should these go into the vast proportion of houses already built, because they're completely unsuitable. And that's the industry leader, the man who installs more than anyone else, telling people, don't, whatever you do, put this in. Your house isn't good enough. Anyway, he carries on. This is Lumsden. He's carrying on. He says, a real transition to net zero involves a mix of solutions and practical approaches, not the dogmatic ideology of this increasingly cranky Green Party. The Institute of Acoustics provides guidance for those thinking about purchasing a heat pump in order to avoid significant adverse noise effects associated with their use. And indeed, constant noise does have a physical effect on the body, and it can lead to all sorts of major health problems. Guidance by the professional body says that homeowners should not locate heat pumps in quieter locations or near sensitive amenity spaces, and they should not mount the units on a wall or a roof, especially if they're shared. So if you're in flats, where are you putting them if you can't put them on a wall? Typically, an individual heat pump placed outside a home gives off a sustained hum of between 40 and 60 decibels. It's about as loud as a refrigerator or a dishwasher. Experts fear if many of them are placed in residential areas, the combined noise would cause a disturbance, and they will. You've got to think it's just a constant background hum. You won't be able to sleep. You'll be disturbed. There's limitations on what the human body can take. You're getting constant distractions. It can cause to loss of concentration, and that can lead to severe things happening. Anyway, it emerged in May that the UK government ministers would oversee a review into heat pumps after concerns about noise were raised by the Department for the Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, and the report is due out later this summer, which I will certainly look at, and we'll do a report when that comes out. We'll do a report on that report. Green Minister Mr Harvey, Dick, has said he wants it to be in the financial interests of buyers and sellers to replace gas boilers. How can it possibly be in the financial interest of anyone being forced to spend £35,000 on a heat pump system that doesn't work, that is unsuitable, that is now going to be an environmental hazard, and which doesn't do what he says it does, which is to get people to net zero? It just doesn't. He is a fool and a liar, and he knows that he's a fool and a liar, but having gone down this road, he cannot step back because it would make him look stupid. Patrick, you don't need to worry about that. We already know you are. A Scottish government spokesman said, heat pumps are a tried and tested way of heating homes, which have been around for decades and are used in countries across Europe, but not very well. And the countries across Europe don't have the same buildings that we have. Thousands are already used in Scotland, and there's little evidence to suggest they're any louder than any other heating systems. Switching to low carbon heating is essential to meet our legal climate targets and could help cut costs for all of us in the long run. We can do it overnight by stop buying shit from China. End of story. Done. Also, where do you think the electric comes from, you morons? It isn't all powered by unicorn farts. And when these houses that are new builds have them with the sufficient insulation, yes, they may well work. But look at the old houses they have. Look at the housing stock we have in Scotland. We have all over, not just Scotland, England, Wales, Northern Ireland, everywhere. Old houses, creaky, not sealed, not up to snuff when it comes to insulation. It just will not work. And he knows it. And also, if every householder had to spend £35,000, that's money taken out of the economy. thousands would be made unemployed overnight as shops shut, venue shut, bars, restaurants, cinemas, all shut because nobody can afford to go to them because they've all just pissed 35,000 away on heating systems that nobody wants. These people are a menace and they're very, very stupid. And the sooner they're voted out, the absolute better. And whoever comes in has just got to scrap this incredibly stupid idea. Anyway, I'll round off there and come up. Patrick Harvey and Lorna Slater, between them are just basically what's wrong with Scotland. You've got two morons who somehow managed to get hold of power. They keep opening their mouths and saying things and introducing policies that they've never thought through. They both refuse to speak to experts because they know the experts will say things that they don't want to hear. Basically, the experts will be telling them that they're idiots and they shouldn't be doing it. And so they don't ask the experts. And when everything they do fails, they blame Westminster for the fail. We see it time and time again. But it isn't Westminster that's failing. It is these two complete morons. And here we go again. And then if the UK government says, no, it does represent a health and safety risk, that's the end of it. It will never happen. They'll lose any case they go to court with because health and safety trumps everything. It's one of the most powerful laws in the country. Anyway, I shall stop there. Thank you very much for watching. If you do like what you see and hear on the channel, please do hit the subscribe button. Only about 35% or so of you regular viewers have hit subscribe. It would be nice if we could get that up a little bit more. So do please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and for heaven's sake, don't buy a heat pump. They are worse than useless. And goodbye.